Is your mic on, Doug?
Is this on? Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
thank
yes,
God. Good.
Yes.
Okay, you're rehired.
Oh, it's on, yeah. Sorry.
Excellent. All right, so before we have everybody line up, I'll start us off with a few questions just because.
Okay.
Why not? So, and since you're both from the same film, why don't we just start off with some Hocus Pocus questions? Because, you know, everyone's looking forward to part 2, correct? Now, who wants to be brutally honest? Raise your hand. Did anyone know that part 2 wasn't coming? Oh, thank God. No, really?
One guy in the front.
And you're in the front row?
And
Get out.
He's wearing a Hocus Pocus 2 t-shirt.
I'm in a scene with you.
Oh, you
What?
Yeah.
We're in a scene together?
Me, you, and Sam Richardson.
Was that at the outdoor fair? Ah, in Newport, Rhode Island.
Fest coordinator.
In real life?
Yeah.
In the thing. Okay. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, yeah. Why? I hope we're both in the movie still. We'll see. Yeah.
The cutting room floor is very popular.
You never know.
So let's talk about the first Hocus Pocus. And I think, well, we'll just start with this. Let's go way back to the beginning. How did you each get your role in Hocus Pocus? And Amanda, since you're the lovely lady, why don't you go first?
Oh, thank you. Well, I auditioned. And I went in the room with Kenny Ortega, and I think it was the second or third audition. And I knew as soon as I finished saying my little lines, we looked each other in the eyes, and it was just like we knew, like we both knew, like this is it. So I just walked out of it, and I just knew, and then I got a call the next day, and he said, "You're on board." And I said, "Yes, thank you."
And that's a 7-year-old girl we're talking about at the time, right?
Yeah.
7? Yeah.
Yes.
So to make eye contact with our director, Kenny Ortega, and be like, we had a connection, we just knew. That's like amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was that your first feature film?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, my first.
Sweet. And Mr. Jones, how did you land the role in Hocus Pocus?
Well, I had a manager at the time that was actually friends with Greg Smith, who was a casting director, who was friends with Kenny Ortega, the director. So there was I kind of like I got hey, we got this part that Doug would be perfect for. So I went to audition also for director Kenny Ortega and casting director Greg Smith, but not in a casting office. I don't know where you did yours. Was it in a casting office? Do you remember
It was at Disney.
At Disney, but
Yeah.
in an office building
office.
at Disney, right?
Yeah.
Mine was at a dance studio. Like, so I walked in with the big wooden floor, mirrors, and these people sitting off at one side of the room with the whole rest of the room mine to play with, right? So Kenny Ortega, our director, had he had a dance background as a choreographer and a very famous dancer. So he said, "Go all the way across the room. Lie on your back like you're in a grave. I'm going to put some music on. You're going to wake up, and you've been dead for 300 years, and then make your way over to here in front of us and say something evil to a witch flying in the air." So I did all that, and I added some creakiness to, because he's been dead for 300 years. I mean, I'm stiff after a nap, so I can only imagine, like, so everything that I did, was like, Kenny Ortega was like, he started laughing immediately, and so did casting director Greg Smith. They were both laughing and high-fiving each other, and I'm like, well, I think I got this. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even done yet, yeah. So sure enough, by the time I got home, the phone had already rung and a message saying, "It's yours, oh my gosh." And I was so excited to be working with Bette Midler. Right? That was all I knew. I didn't know Hocus Pocus. I'm sure it's a great movie, but Bette Midler, yeah.
Now, see, Doug's reading my mind because that was going to be the next thing I wanted to talk about. So before we ask the question, young people in the audience, and so I'm going to go, let's do it 15 and younger.
Okay.
15 and younger only, raise your hand. Do you know who Bette Midler is? One does. Perfect. No, this is what I want.
Yeah.
25 and older. Do you know who Bette Midler is? Raise your hand. Okay, that's what I want. Okay.
Of course, right.
So you get what Doug is saying.
Right.
So I'm a huge Bette Midler fan.
Yeah.
So the question is this. Amanda,
Yes.
You were 7.
Yeah.
Did
Yes.
you know who Bette Midler was? This is leading into the question.
Yes, I did.
You did. So
Yes.
then here, this is the formulated question then. Oh my God, what was it like to work with Bette Midler? And because think about it now, Bette Midler is like this close to you.
Yeah.
Sucking the life out of you. I would have died right there. It would have been it. And then if Doug will have his own story. So seriously, your experiences going in, how excited were you? Were you nervous? And then being in a room with a legend like that, what was it like?
Well, I
Amanda,
was
you go
dead.
first.
That's how it was.
No, it was, I mean, I couldn't believe it. And of course, the only reason I knew who she was because of my mother. So, and then of course I saw, what was it? Beaches?
Yes.
Beaches.
Right?
Beaches. So I was just, I couldn't believe it. And then just having her like come closer and closer to me with that spoon. You know?
Yeah. Drink up. Yeah.
Drink up. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I truly was shocked. Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, well, and I've been a fan of Bette's since college, since I was in university back in the dark ages. I think, yeah, right. If one of my classmates is here from Ball State University, I know, right? I graduated in 1982. Some of you weren't born yet. Shh. But I was introduced to her recording career and her stage presence back then, and had seen some old VHS tapes of her stage show. The Divine Miss M with her backup singers, the Harlettes, and the whole 9 yards, and in her mermaid tail in a wheelchair. She was such an icon for those who knew who she was. And but then her hit, The Rose, came out with a soundtrack, and her hit, The Rose, the song as well, hit the top 10. So her recording career was growing and growing and growing. And so she had one musical hit after another. Then her movies started with Ruthless People again. Well, this is after The Rose. She came back and did all these string of comedies with Ruthless People and Down and Out in Beverly Hills and Outrageous Fortune, Big Business, Beaches. The list goes on and on. She was such an icon, and so I was a huge, huge fan of her. So this is one of the very few times in my life and career. I've worked with some of the biggest stars, biggest directors in the world, but Bette Midler made me stupid. Like, So I'm on my way. I'm driving to work my first night on the film. It was a night shoot, and it's actually for a deleted scene in a park where we're meeting up and reconnoitering, me and the witches. And so my first night of work, I had Bette Midler this far from my face, yelling at me, of course, and her eyebrows were gone, and she had buck teeth and these tiny little lips drawn on, and I got the giggles. It's Bette Midler. Look at you. Anywho, but she was so gracious and so kind, and by the end of the movie shoot, later in the shoot we were doing the scene in the costume party, the masquerade party, right? The Halloween party, where I come stumbling into the party and I kind of blend in because everybody's in costume, and so we were filming that scene, and between shot setups, I briefly told her quickly. I said, Bette, did you know that you inspired me to keep on going as an actor? I was like, oh, really? I'd seen a Barbara Walters interview of her years before. And when I was doing my Mac Tonight commercials, anybody remember the Mac Tonight campaign for McDonald's? Like, when the clock struck, hey! Well, I was in the middle, thank you. I was in the middle of doing a shoot like that, and the director and the director and the advertising agency were having arguments and not agreeing on things, and I got caught up in the middle of it kind of because I was wanting to please everybody. In the middle of that work week shoot, I saw a Barbara Walters interview with Bette Midler. I don't know if you've heard this story or not before, but she, Barbara Walters asked her, a very deep digging question. She said, Bette, I talked to you shortly after you did The Rose, and shortly after our interview, you went into a kind of a rehab situation. You had committed yourself to, after a nervous breakdown. What makes you a different Bette Midler today? And Bette confidently said to her, oh, Barbara, I don't care anymore. Wasn't that a great answer? She said, I used to be so wrought up with everything that was happening around me, and even if I couldn't control it, I was responsible for everything. She said, now I stand where they tell me to stand, I say what they tell me to say, and I wear what they tell me to wear to the best of my ability, and beyond that, I don't care.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I know. So I went back to my Mac Tonight shoot in that week and was like, I don't care. And it got me through the week and it helped me. So I told her that whole story, and she said, I said that? Yes, Ben, it changed my life, but whatever. So but that's the same conversation where she told me that I was doing such a great job as Billy. She thought I was very funny, and I thought, okay, that Miller thinks I'm funny. If a light fell on my head right now and I died, I would go out happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's my bet, Mo. So I could go on. I'm sorry. Hey, back to you.
Okay. You had me at the Rose.
I know.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. I'm like, hello.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Rose.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around her not caring, because that is so not the presence that she has in Hollywood at all. So
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, where were we? Oh
yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2 is now coming out.
Yay!
Yes, clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
So, Doug, how did you get the role in Hocus Pocus 2?
I answered the phone.
Good.
Yes, I'll do it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, Amanda,
Yes.
we're going to switch gears now, because we all get that Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out and you can't talk about it, so it's fine. So
It was great, by the way.
It was what?
It was great and a surreal experience to revisit Billy
Oh, yeah.
Butcherson after 29 years had gone by. An opportunity I wasn't sure I'd ever get. Yeah, so lovely.
Gosh.
So, Amanda, the question I want to ask you is, now this is your second only convention that you've done. Last week you did an amazing one. This one it's different, but it's still amazing because everybody here in New Hampshire rocks, and we love this show.
No, seriously.
Granite State rocks.
You guys rock!
Yes.
You guys rock!
And you Massachusetts people aren't so bad either. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Now you Vermont people can just...
And Vermont, yeah. Oh, yay.
So, Amanda,
Maine. Yeah. Okay, yeah, right. New England.
but-
You New England.
But there are actually people here from Florida, and there are people here from Missouri, Michigan. Like, there
Oh,
are people here.
wow.
Yes.
Colorado?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hey.
They
all
all
right.
coming out of the woodwork for the Hocus Pocus folks.
Texas, come on now,
see?
okay.
Wow.
Thank you, all
Anyone
of
from
you.
Japan? No. So, Amanda, 30 years ago, and a few people like Doug and Kathy Najimy and Larry and Tobias have been out on the road, and they've promoted their careers that include Hocus Pocus. And
Yeah, they're pros.
Yeah. So you've never experienced this before. So
No.
what's it like meeting these people face to
Oh,
face and
God.
scribbling your name on a bunch of paper and getting paid for it?
It makes me cry. It's just incredible seeing how many people love this movie, because truly, I feel like I've been living under a rock. So to come out here and to see how many people truly love this movie. I mean, with their heart and souls like spread open. Here it is, Sign it.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. But it's truly touching, and yeah, some of you guys bring tears to my eyes, truly. The amount of love that I've received and gotten, I could have never fathomed that before, so I'm very thankful.
So that is us applauding you guys.
Yes!
Yes, yay. Mwah.
Excellent. Doug,
Yes.
2 different directors, same franchise. What was it like working with 2 different directors on Hocus Pocus?
Right, Hocus Pocus 1 with Kenny Ortega, and then Hocus Pocus 2 with renowned film director Anne Fletcher, who she directed 27 Dresses and The Proposal and a slew of others. They both understand comedy, they both understand movement, because Anne Fletcher, like Kenny Ortega, also comes from a dance background. And what she didn't know when I met her on set for the first time is, Anne, we've met before. Oh, we have? Yeah, she choreographed an episode of The Neighbors that I did on ABC. It was a very funny show with a bunch of aliens that were posing as humans in a subdivision of New Jersey. And we had as they do, and we had a musical episode, and there was this big, huge dance number that Anne came in and choreographed for us. And but she had already been a huge movie director by that time, so she was doing a favor for our show and our showrunner David Fogelman or Dan Fogelman. So I worked with her, but it was a big. I was in a big group of people, and so to remind her of that. So. They both had, it's funny how similar these two directors are, because they both have such a sense for comedic timing where the beats belong. As you know, with the dance musical kind of background, they understand that comedy has a rhythm to it and has spacing and pauses that are part of that rhythm. Brilliant to work with, yeah. And even in rewording a line so that it has the right rhythm, even though the script writers did one thing, but she would tweak it and say, that's going to be funnier. And she was right every time. It's really, really cool. Really cool.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant it was going to eject. The wow was the interjection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So, Amanda. Wow. So, you transitioned out of acting. So let's learn more about Amanda, the
Yeah.
person. What swayed you away from it, and what led you to the paths in your life that you have taken? And I know you're very passionate about the what'd you call it on the bus? The spiritualism thing. So share a little bit so that the audience knows more about you, because, and no offense, we all love Doug Jones, but he's a very public figure, and we've gotten to know him because of, he's very open on social media and stuff. We don't know you. So
Right.
let's learn about you.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, Amanda.
So let's see. Where do I start? She's okay.
Age 8.
Yes.
No.
So,
AJ.
so you want me to be honest? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. So I got tired of having to have the same hair, bangs, this length, forever.
Yeah.
And, as you get older, you go through rebellious stages. You want to change your hair. You want to change everything. You want a new personality. You're going through a lot. And I just said, I've had it. I want to change. I'm bored.
Yeah. Okay.
So I actually got quite bored with it. It can sometimes be a little tedious, going audition after audition after audition, and then callback after callback, and after callback, sometimes 8 or 9, So I just slowly transitioned out of it as I simply got, a little bored with it. And then I had a series of spiritual awakenings. I don't know if any of you have heard that word before. Okay, no, that's okay. Okay. And that put me on a fast track to purpose, which for me was energy healing. I don't know if you all have heard of Reiki. Have you heard of Reiki?
Put your hands up,
Yay, put
Reiki.
your hands up,
There,
Reiki.
look, see, wow.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Years ago, if I would have asked, nobody would have put their hand up. And literally within the last 5 years, more and more people know about it. So I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. So yeah, I got into that, and I just got more woo-woo and more woo-woo, and got into and got into light language and Kundalini yoga and channeling and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so
Is woo-woo
That's
an official
me.
Reiki term?
it's just. Do y'all know what woo-woo means? Yes. Okay.
But I don't.
Okay.
Explain
let
it to me. And the guy in the front row doesn't know either.
Okay, so woo-woo means outside of the norm and into spirituality, or people that are like into metaphysics, and so anybody that's scientific who sees somebody like me who's into like energy healing and all this other stuff, plant spirit medicine, they go, oh, she's woo-woo.
Oh, and do they do the hands with it like, oh, woo woo? Oh, yeah. Is that it?
No. just you, Doug.
Actually, that
Guilty.
guy does it too. He's shaking his
Woo,
head.
woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, there. Thank you for sharing because now we know a little bit more about you, and,
Yep.
and we appreciate that, right, guys?
Thank you.
Excellent. So, in the pamphlet, it said, that this was a Hocus Pocus panel, and honestly, there's so much more like Reiki and Doug, your career, to talk about than just Hocus Pocus. So I, as the host, and this was sprung on me, I'm just going to go in the direction that I want to go about and just talk about whatever. Okay. So this will be the time where I will ask those of you who have questions, please line up at the mic. And while we're waiting for y'all to line up, and don't be shy, get up. Everybody's shy except this one lady. Great. Okay. So, yeah, get up. So let's go on to another question with Doug. Doug, I want to know, because you've worn so much makeup over the years, what is the most uncomfortable makeup you have ever been asked to wear?
First of all, let me delineate between makeup and suit.
Oh,
Right. Because
yes. And then I'm going to refine my question to suit.
Because I can, yeah, because
You get what I'm
and
going
they
with.
often
Go.
overlap as well.
Right.
A suit is something you slip on and zip up the back. A makeup is something applied to you, whether painted on or glued onto you. Okay. So sometimes a lot of the characters I've played have been part suit, part makeup. So part of it's glued onto me, painted on. Part of it is slipped on and zipped up the back. So like the Amphibian Man from The Shape of Water is a perfect example of that. But Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies is a complete makeup from head to toe, all glued on from. It took 7 hours a day. So I prefer a little bit a lighter, easier application process, yes. But the farther you get from human, the more uncomfortable it's going to be. So I think the mother bug in Bug Buster was probably one of the worst ever. Yeah, and you've never heard of it, have you? Well, but you're one. Thank you, Missy. Yeah, but the reason you haven't heard of it is because you shouldn't have heard of that movie. It went straight to the VHS. Yeah, for good reason.
Now everyone's going to look it up.
But I was a giant insect in it with 6 legs, a head that was up here operated by my head. I had netting around here with fur coming out of it like an insect. And so I was looking downward while the head was up here, and then I had a stinger coming out of my ass, and I had. So thank goodness there wasn't a Bug Buster Part 2. Okay.
All right, so let's go with that question right before we take our first one. Now I have a game that I want to play with Doug.
Uh-oh.
So Doug, it has to be as quick as you can.
Oh no, I can't.
Okay, ready? Because you brought it up because you said it took 7 hours to get into Ape Sapien.
Okay,
So I'm gonna randomly name stuff as we go, and I just need a number, and the number is the amount of hours.
Okay. Well,
ready?
Okay. Let's remember something though.
Yep.
Before every different design, every different character has a different design and a different application process. And a lot of the work is done ahead of time, right? So when people ask me how long does makeup take, my answer is weeks, because the creature shop people are molding and painting and sculpting pieces for me. That then getting it onto me is the last step. Okay,
That's the step we're going with.
That's
last
the step we're going to go with. Okay.
Okay,
ready.
Mac tonight.
Minutes. And it was on. Yeah.
Mimic.
Also minutes, like as in 20 minutes. It was like a mask and a shroud and a thing, and you're good to go.
You're not following directions. It's
I'm
a
sorry.
number.
20 minutes.
Hush.
4 hours. Well, but that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Hellboy 2, Abe Sapien.
5 hours a day.
Excellent. Saru.
2 hours a day. Yeah. Thank heaven.
The Pale Man.
Ooh, 6. I'm sorry?
Thank Michael Dorn.
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
It used to be 6 hours a day. He said, I'm not coming back for this. They said, well, you're not getting it too. Okay.
Michael Dorn's makeup was they had to blend those edges into his own face. And my blessing with Saru is that it's all covered up in one thing. So there's a very minimal like blending and paint color adjusting to do. So yeah, but he did. Oh, Michael Dorn, bless his heart.
Okay. Play the game right. I want a number quick answers. Everyone in the room be quiet. Pale Man.
6 hours a day.
Pan.
5 hours a day.
Amphibian Man.
3. Only, largely suit.
My name is Jerry.
7 minutes. I played a middle-aged white guy named Jerry. Yeah.
There you go. So that just gives you guys an idea over the course of his career.
Yes.
Where he's at. Yes. I know, but sweetheart, we can't name everyone. That's not the point of the game.
Yeah, they were also 5 hours a day each. Both my Ghost Lady characters.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Doug, for playing along. All right, now on to the pressure of the fans actually asking some questions. Remember, say your name first, and then your question, please. Hello, my dear. What is
Hi, I'm Lorelai.
Oh.
What was your favorite line from Hocus Pocus that you said?
Oh, was that for me? I'm sorry.
We'll
either
both
of you.
answer. We'll both answer, yeah.
Oh. That great Binx.
Yeah. Yes, when we saw her again at the end of the movie, I was like, I know. Mine was the line that I actually wrote myself. At the end of the movie, when I've cut my mouth open and coughed out the dust and the moths, and the original script had me saying, "Bitch." That's on paper. Somebody wrote that in a Disney kids movie. I was like, I don't think it's gonna. So I said to our director Kenny Ortega, would it be possible if I kind of tweak this and make it more of a rant, because he's been building this up for 300 years of hatred toward this witch. So I pitched him, "Winch, trollop, you bucktooth, mop-riding firefly from hell." Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Excellent. Hello.
Hello,
What is your name and question?
I am Danielle, and this question is for Doug.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi. So I have actually been holding on to this question since 2019 when you were last here, and then the pandemic hit and you never came back.
Oh, well, none of us did. I know.
I was at your panel and you talked about doing Nosferatu, and it never came out. What the hell happened? I have been waiting. Did I miss something, or
Yeah.
did it just never come out?
I had our producer and our director on the phone recently, and I asked the same question. What the hell happened? It's still, it's not out yet, but it is. They told me that every frame of the movie, every frame of that film had a green screen element to fill in with some kind of CG, because we took old movie and our new movie shot. All of us actors shot on green screen with props and things in the foreground, and they combined that together to make a remix, basically, of old movie, new movie together. So I got to play in the same environment that Max Schreck did.
That is so cool.
You know, yeah. So it was a dream come true for me. That was my bucket list character, to play Nosferatu. So I did, and it's all done years ago. And so the post-production process has taken forever, unfortunately. But they told me there was one shot of one scene left that was still needed some tweaking. And now our director and our production team, there's lawyers involved, and I'm not sure what's going on. But there's something amiss. And once they get that nonsense figured out, it's above my pay grade. I have no idea what's going on. Then we have distributors begging for it.
Okay,
So
it is,
yeah.
it is technically still coming.
It's still coming, yes,
Okay.
technically.
If another 2 years, can I say Doug Jones told me it was coming, and why hasn't it come out yet?
And you can throw hell in there again. Why the hell isn't it coming? Sure, you're welcome to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, love.
Perfect. Hello, sir.
Hello, my name is Neil. Hi, Emily. And
Hello.
I've known you on Facebook, obviously, for years. And
Ah.
but my
Oh
que-
yes.
but my-
Hello.
hello,
Hi. Nice
my-
to meet. Hi. Nice.
It's nice to
to
meet
see
you in
you.
person.
Yeah.
Doug. My question is for you, though. What is the difference between your experience filming Hocus Pocus 1 and Hocus Pocus 2?
Right. The main difference I noticed was that in Hocus Pocus 1, it was a new story, new movie, new characters, and our crew was treating, and I was early in my career too. So it was kind of like, I'm just the hired actor guy that nobody cared about. Coming back for Hocus Pocus 2, 29 years later, our entire crew had grown up with that original movie. So when the witches came back on set for the first time, the Beatles had returned, right?
That was amazing. I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, and when Billy Butcherson came back on set, Elvis was back. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh my God, can I get a selfie with you? No, I'm not supposed to, but that never happened in the first movie ever. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So here's a question for you, sir. You were there. Did you beg them for selfies?
I left my phone in the car.
As you were told to.
As you were told to. Good job.
If someone told me to move right up beside Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy and Jeannie, I did it. If an underling came over and said, why don't I put you back here in the back, I did it. I never said anything. I just went with them. And they
Excellent.
liked that, so they put me in like 5 or 6 scenes.
Different scenes. Oh, good,
Wow.
good. Well, then you'll show up, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope I'm not in every scene and then blurred out.
No, right, because that's that same guy. Yeah.
Sweet. Maybe they'll use you for Hocus Pocus 3.
Oh.
And it was a very surreal and amazing experience in Newport, Rhode Island, where I normally live in the summer and fall.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that was magic.
Yeah.
It was.
Very surreal every day.
It was
Very
indeed.
cool.
It was indeed. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, moving on. Hello, sir.
Hello, I'm Logan. And I just want to say, Doug, I loved you in Hellboy.
No, thank you.
My question is,
Yes,
is
clap,
actually
clap.
for you, Doug. My question is actually for you, Doug. What was it like working with Ron Perlman?
Oh, have you ever met Ron Perlman at a convention?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
I hear the yes. Yes. Ron Perlman, he's been quoted saying that he and I are much like our characters in real life. He's more Hellboy, I'm more Abe Sapien. Yeah, which means he's the one who cusses and smokes cigars and drinks beer, and I'm the one who's listening to classical music and saying, "Oh, Hellboy," you know. Yeah, no, he is a protective big brother type personality, and I adore everything about him. And when he shows a grumpy side, that's his crusty exterior. He has a mushy interior, and you just have to pet the back of his head until it comes out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
However, little disclaimer, I highly recommend that no fan in this room touch Ron Perlman.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if it gets back that Doug told you to, it's going to be a big
Yeah,
mess.
no, I'll never hear the end of that. It's true. It's true.
Hello, sir.
Hi, my name's Colin.
Come up to the mic.
Hi, my name's Colin.
Hi,
All right. Doug, one of your more underappreciated roles is doing the motion capture for Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. With the new Fantastic Four movie on the horizon, I'd like to know, are you interested in doing another huge superhero picture with so many that you could be in?
First of all, I need to make a correction in that I never did official motion capture for the Silver Surfer. I was in a full makeup and costume every day, looking like the Silver Surfer.
Oh, very cool.
Best ass I ever had on me. Yeah, nice abs, big drumlets. They gave me a very handsome face too, with a very furrowed brow and a strong jawline. I wanted to keep it. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of like wear it around and stuff.
And the key that you should point out, Doug, too, and I don't mean to interrupt, but just because it's exciting, because if you guys go back and watch the movies, and yes, you must be a huge fan, really watch it, because the only computer stuff with Doug is the sheen. The rest of it's him. It's actually him. It's
Believe
just
it
the
or
sheen.
not, and the computer, the CGI enhancements they put over me were quite thick, so it's like it looks very CG'd. But then the scenes where I lost my power and was tarnished and lost that sheen, I was more browny tarnished, like silver looking. That was just me in the costume and makeup. So that's a great place to notice the actual fine artwork of the practical effects artist. But when I did that first movie, this Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, my first movie, it was their second. I had a 3-picture deal in place, so there were plans to have me spin off and do my own standalone film and beyond. I don't know what happened to that. So, yeah, it had a 5-year term on that contract, and that's well over now. But I'm 62 years old now, and I'm also from an original incarnation of him. So if Marvel comes back and wants to reinvent the Silver Surfer and bring him back again in another, I would just doubt that they would come back for me in the first place, because that's not their pattern. But if they were to, I would jump at the chance. I would love to play him again, sure, because I'm still in pretty damn good shape. Okay? Thank you.
I hope you get your chance.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is a good place to interject for both of you. Hold on one second. So if you guys really want to know how good shape Doug is, for those of you who don't follow him on social media, if you do, many times he's putting up beautiful pictures of his incredible physique. So Doug, share your social media platforms so that those who do not follow you can. And then Amanda, you're going to do the same thing.
I on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, yes. LinkedIn, you can find me at Actor Doug Jones. All run together, no punctuation, at Actor Doug Jones. Thank you.
Okay. I am at The Real Emily Binx. So it's, actually I have to check exactly what it is. I'm sorry, excuse me.
There were underscores in there.
Yeah, there were underscores. So
Yeah.
let me get that for you guys.
All right. And while she's doing that, for anyone who cares about my company, you can follow us at Cool Waters Prods on all social media, because we tweet a lot about our clientels and where they're going to be and what they're doing, and we appreciate the follow as well. Got it?
I got it.
All right.
So it's _real_Emily Binx.
All run together. Yeah.
All of them together.
Okay.
I notice how none of you are getting out your phones.
Oh, he's writing it down with the pen.
Oh, you're writing it down.
Yeah, look at that. Look,
Excellent.
see.
Well, the pressure's on. Yes, sir. Name and question.
Hi, my name is Walter, and this question's for both of you. My mom wants to know if Hocus Pocus was a lot of fun to make.
Your mom wants to know. See, this is what I love about this. How old are you?
15.
You're 15, right?
Yeah.
So your mom was one of our original fans, probably, who's grown up with it, had you along the way, and now you're a fan of it too, I hope.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Oh,
Thank you.
what
Thank
a
you.
sweetheart.
So how was it fun to make?
Oh gosh. Off the charts, unbelievable. Just so much fun. And when I was on set, Kathy Najimy could not put me down. So she carried me everywhere.
Aww.
And I wasn't going to say no. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I know.
So I just went along and, enjoyed myself with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, so many of the roles I've done in film and TV have involved some heavy looks, that rubber and glue, and so that deadens my will to live. So there have been very sorry. So there have been. It's often like it's a big daunting. It's like, oh, here comes today, knowing what I have to go through for the day. There's been a couple of times that I've worn a rubberized makeup that I've looked forward to going into work. One of them was Hocus Pocus. The other one is the Baron from What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, when you're adding that comedy element to it, family-friendly, lighthearted, happy ending, sort of funny, and you're laughing all day at work, it just ups the game completely. It changes everything. So yeah, that was every day was looking forward to going in and being a goofy, floppy zombie before zombies were cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing. I also absolutely loved wearing my little pajamas, what I called little pajamas, and the little bonnet.
Your bonnet, yeah.
And so I really enjoyed that. I really actually liked what I had to wear. And I also still love when all your kids dress up, whoever has daughters, put the bonnets on and put the outfit on. Send it my way. I love it. I love posting them.
Yeah.
I love posting them and seeing them. They're just absolutely adorable. So, yeah.
Give Mom our love, okay?
Yes, please.
Was it Walter? Yes. Wait, here, stay at the mic. I'm not done with you yet.
Oh, okay.
Stay there. No, so here, we're going to give you another fascinating tidbit to take back to your mom. It's really cool trivia.
Uh-oh.
Doug, are there not parts of Billy Butcherson's costume from part 1 that you actually are reusing for part 2 30 years later?
Well, yes, Derek. I'll come out of the grave in Hocus Pocus 2 looking and sounding exactly the same as I did in the first movie. But that took some doing because the original makeup molds had been destroyed and they had to re-sculpt, but they did it with artists from the same original shop that created the exact same look. So my skin looks the same again, but they're new pieces. The costume there was only one left that was on a dummy in David Kirshner's office, one of our producers. They had a life-size Billy. He has a life-size Billy in his home office. And so that's on a mannequin that looks like me. And so that one costume is also, it's kind of threadbare and wouldn't hold up through another movie shoot. But the wig was still in pristine condition, and so they took it off the dummy and put it on me, and I filmed the second movie in it. So it's the exact same hair. It didn't even need teasing. It was in great shape, ready to go. Yeah.
Sweet. So you need to go home and tell your mom that,
You
Walter.
need to tell Mom. Okay. Thanks, Walter.
Oh,
Precious.
so sweet.
I know.
So you're not. This is the one part about Granite State that drives me crazy is we don't have a video camera. But there is. Stop. We'll go this way. There is an actual picture of the producer David Kirshner with the exact mannequin that Doug is
With the
talking
Billy-
about in his office.
Mannequin, yeah.
If you all want to come to the table later and ask me to pull out my phone, I will.
No,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's there. So it's pretty sweet.
But that's all he's pulling out.
Depends who asks.
I saw you.
This is a kid show.
No, I'm so sorry.
Not anymore.
I'm so sorry. Disney, I know.
Well, Disney's not in the room.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, let's not forget that Disney wanted to put the word bitch in originally.
Thank you.
So
I cleaned it up.
know.
Exactly.
True.
All right. Okay, yes. Name in question.
Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I actually want to give a tremendous amount of credit to the person that was ahead of me because the question I'm about to ask is extremely related. So this question is for both of you, for both Doug and Amanda. Were you given any specific acting instructions or directions for your roles as characters from a past time period?
It was the last bit of that as rules.
Yeah.
As roles as characters in your roles as characters from a past time period.
From a past time
Yes.
period. Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's a great question, yeah.
I really like acting a lot, so I'm very curious about it, the process about it, and that's just a question I've just been
Right.
meaning
I
to
think she's
ask.
preparing to act in something that happens thousands of years ago.
Are you doing a period piece soon?
No.
Okay.
I like acting trivia more than like.
Yeah.
No, I'm not pursuing a career in acting. I'm curious about
Awesome.
Okay.
about the industry.
So I want to hear like with you. Did Kenny Ortega give you any direction like with any time that you spoke? Did he want you to have a certain cadence from a day gone by?
Surprisingly not.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
surprisingly not. Yeah. That's the truth.
Well, and for me, because if you notice, the witches speak in sort of like this is New England, Salem, 1600s is where we all come from.
Right.
So how did they speak back then? Was there an accent? Was there and there aren't a lot of conjunctions, instead of it, so it might be it is. So when it came to me, I kind of took it upon myself to give Billy more. It's not really, anyone from England would say it's not an accent, but but I kind of gave him more of a Cockney accent, like he was fresh off the boat from England when he was, and he's never really lost his accent. So he speaks with a bit more Cockney British in him, and that was a decision that I came in with that Kenny Ortega loved and asked me to keep it. So good question.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So stay there for me. So no one told, they just like, hey, Derek, are you hosting? I'm like, okay, sure. And then they didn't tell me anything about anything. So I didn't know that I had only 45 minutes. I thought we had an hour.
Oh.
So I apologize, but we are going to take one more question. However, those of you in line, don't panic. Both of these people do not require any purchase at their table for you to come up and talk with them. So please come and ask your question personally to them, and they will answer it for you, okay? Not a problem. Pressure's on for you because you're the last question of
Make
the day.
it a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's 2 plus 2?
4.
No, that was the question you asked them.
Okay.
No. Go ahead.
My name is Salem, and I was wondering what your least favorite part about filming Hocus Pocus was?
Least favorite part?
Good question.
Ooh, okay, get it.
My least favorite part was having to stay in the same place for so long. I mean, it was like hours and hours and hours from, the crack of dawn till night, just going like this.
Yeah. While they played a scene around you, yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually quite difficult, believe it or not. Yeah.
Oh, and it was a wooden seat you were on, yes?
It was.
Was it padded at all for you?
No, it wasn't.
See,
I didn't even think of that.
That gets old.
Yeah,
really
that,
fast.
Really fast. Really fast.
Ask the bony ass guy. That gets old. yeah. Okay. For me, it was a scene that I loved so much when the movie's finished, the spell's broken, the witches are dead, and I'm saying goodbye to the kids, and I'm hopping back into my grave. I flop back into I love the moment in the movie. It was very funny, and this dust comes piling up after I hit the bottom. But filming it, the first take didn't go so well. Because there were broken pieces of wood around the edge of it, because I burst out of my coffin earlier in the film, right? So the first time I went back, this hand caught a piece of wood, and a splinter went into my eye. So I come up out of the grave going, yeah. Yeah. So they had to call the set nurse in and get some tweezers, and like, it was all good though. I was good. It didn't puncture anything. Thank heaven, right?
Oh,
yeah. So good question. Thank you, love.
Wow. See, Doug became the troublemaker of the set.
I did, yeah.
All right, New England and visitors of New England, give it up for Amanda Shepard and Doug Jones. No, you can do better than that. Come on. Thunderous applause.